everyone, my name is Turkey and today I'm here with my wrap up for the magical Readathon Winter Edition of 2019. So G's done an amazing job at this Readathon. She said it would be really low-key, but the work she put in it was so much and so amazing. It was so fun. So the Readathon started on the 1st of December and it contained 5 parts, 5 chapters. And each Sunday throughout December you would get a new chapter open. But overall the Readathon was open-ended, so you could do it at your own pace. Which is why this video is a bit late, since I took a little bit longer to finish the books I picked. But it was really fun, so each Sunday we got a new chapter and we had to decide ourselves which path we would go and what we would do. Depending on what we choose, we got different prompts, or more prompts, or less prompts. It was so fun. So I sadly couldn't vlog the whole thing since I had a lot of work to do. But I decided to show you what I read now. So, chapter 1, I got one reading prompt, which was: let the de-gnoming begin. Pick a read from your existing TBR that is longer than 500 pages. Thinning the not read pile, one book at a time. So I'm going to look down here since I have all my notes here and my spread in my bullet journal. So I took G's advice for this and picked books I was in the middle of, since I was in a really big reading slump over the last half of the year. And I wanted to finish the books I was stuck in for months now, so I picked those for the readathon, otherwise I wouldn't have been able to participate in it. So for the first prompt I picked Battle Mage by Peter A. Flannery. This is the German edition, and the English edition is only one book, but the German edition was separated into 2 books, so this is only the first half of the story. And it's about a boy named Falco Dante, whose father was a battle mage, but he got killed. He got a bit crazy and then he was killed by other battle mages. And Falco is a very sick kid. And his country is under attack and they need battle mages to save them. But Falco accidentally kills the battle mage that comes to help them, and they have to flee. The first half of the book is them fleeing and fighting, and the second half of the book they're in another city and a couple of people of them are going to an academy to be trained to be soldiers of whatever kind they're very good at. And Falco is trained to be a battle mage, surprisingly. So I completely forgot to explain. So battle mages are a lot stronger than the normal mages that are in this book, because they normally take a long time to prepare a spell, but battle mages can do so quickly, and if needed they can also call a dragon for help. But if they call a black dragon they have to kill it, because black dragons are insane and try to kill humans, while all the other dragons want to help the humans. So it's a lot of complicated stuff. It's a very great book. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, I can't wait for the second half of the English book, because for some reason German publishers really like to split books up and I really hate it. But yeah, I can't wait for the second one. And I gave this book 4 out of 5 stars. So then the second chapter came, and for that I got 2 prompts. The first one: from mundane to magical, read an urban fantasy. Usually a fantasy world that exists in secret from the muggle world. Harry Potter, for example. So I did not choose Harry Potter. Instead I chose this book. It's called Dämliche Dämonen in German and the author is Royce Buckingham. The original title is Demon Keeper and it's actually a trilogy of very short books. And they're all in one book, in this one. And I've read all of them. So I read the first a couple of months before the readathon, so I read the second and the third for the readathon, and it's about a demon keeper named Nathan Grimlock, and his teacher and adoptive father, I would say, dies and leaves him in a house full of demons of which he has to take care of. But these demons aren't necessarily evil. So he's protecting demons from the humans as much as he's protecting the humans from the demons. But in the first one, there is one demon in his house that is locked away in the cellar. And that demon escapes and eats children. So that's not good. And he has to catch it. He meets a couple people on the way and it's really fun, it's lighthearted and it's not really deep. It was fun to read. So if you want something fun to read, something enjoyable, you can pick this up. It's not that it was bad, but if I had bought the first one alone, I wouldn't have picked up the second and the third one probably. So I gave this 3 out of 5 stars because I really enjoyed it, but I wouldn't have picked up all of them if they weren't in one book. And the second prompt was book club pick. Buddy read a book or read a book that has been picked by a book club of your choice recently or in the past. It can be an online book club or a local one. So for that I twist the rules a little bit and picked The Beautiful by Readathon. And with twist I mean I didn't buddy read this, but it wasn't a fairy loot and fairy loot always does read-alongs for their books. So you could call it a book club, and it was a pick for that book club, so I picked it for this. The Beautiful is set in New Orleans in the 1800s. It follows a girl named Celine who left Paris to escape her life and comes to New Orleans, and she meets those people who are part of the so-called Court of Lions, and there are also girls dying. They're killed very brutally, and she somehow gets stuck in the middle of this, and it's just about her trying to figure out whom to trust and how to survive this and convince the police that it's not her fault, even though she's somehow connected to most of the victims. So it's really great. In between the actual chapters, which are all told from Celine's perspective, you have the perspective of another person that's always hiding in the dark and always following someone, and at the beginning you're not sure if it's Celine or if it's another girl. Even at the end I wasn't entirely sure who this person is supposed to be. So that was interesting. Also the love story in there was interesting, although I'm not entirely sure how they can't fall in love if they don't really meet that often. But that's just how these books work, so we're taking it at face value. All in all, I really enjoyed this book, so I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. Then chapter 3 came, and once again I had only one prompt, which was read a book with a pink or purple cover. Alright, so I did not have a book on my TBR or started that has pink or purple on the cover, which made it really difficult to pick something, because I didn't want to start another book at that point and I just had to finish the ones I had. So I got a bit... well, I picked this one because it has pink on this Christmas ornament. There. So that's my pink book. Yeah, I know, it's not pink. We don't care, we're going with it. So, this book is called Spekulatius and is by Tobias Goldfarb. It's a German author and the whole title translated would be Spekulatius the Christmas Dragon. It's an advent calendar book for children. I wanted an advent calendar book for ages, but I never found one that I liked. I looked at all the other ones, but most of them were... there were never stores that interested me, but I found the drawings really adorable, so I picked this one, and it's about a boy named Mads who is really devastated because he doesn't get an advent calendar like the one he wants for December. So a nice woman gives him a golden egg, and out of this golden egg comes Spekulatius the Christmas Dragon. He's called Spekulatius like the cookie. I don't know what the word in English is, so I will put it down here afterwards. Because he smells like that, and he only eats Christmas cookies, and it's just really fun and so cute, and I really love the drawings, so I had a lot of fun with this book. And yeah, I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. So chapter 4 was a funny one because I didn't get a reading challenge. So instead I got a Twitter challenge, which honestly I didn't do. I did not participate in the Twitter part of the challenge just because I didn't find anything to put there. So my chapter 4 challenge was Speak to Aragog. Why couldn't it be Follow the Butterflies? Tweet a picture of a butterfly with hashtag I followed the spiders. So I didn't have a picture, I took myself, and I couldn't find one on the internet that I really liked, so I ignored it. And lastly, chapter 5. For that I got 3 prompts plus a Twitter prompt that I again didn't do, but I explained that later. So the first reading prompt was read a book with a bird, winged creature or feathers on the cover. And for that I picked Der Hof der Wunder by Kester Grant. Once again, this is the German edition. The English edition is The Court of Miracles. And it's a reimagining of Les Miserables and The Jungle Book. It's about a girl named Nina whose sister gets taken by the boss of one of the groups that makes the Court of Miracles, and she wants to get her back. So she gets a girl named Etty to help her. And the book is told in a couple of parts, but we mainly focus on 3 because the first one is when the sister gets taken and Nina is pretty little. She tries to save her sister, but she doesn't manage to. Next part is 3 years later, and she found Etty and wants Etty's help, but it didn't quite work out like she wanted to. And then another 3 years later, it's again, it's a bit after a failed French Revolution, and during this time period that Nina tries to save her sister, there is another revolution in the making. And Nina meets so many people, it's really crazy what kind of people she meets. Because she becomes part of the Court of Miracles and becomes a thief, a really good thief. And yeah, it's just really fun to meet all these people, and I really enjoyed all these people. They're fun together and they're interesting together. On the back of the book it says for fans of Lee Bardugo, which I would say yes, it has a bit Six of Crows vibes, mostly because of the thieves and all the groups that are fighting against each other, but it reminded me more of Limmy's. I only saw the movie, but still, also the name were taken from there because Nina's full name is Eponine. They took a lot of the names from Limmy's, and in between you have quotes from the Jungle Book, and it was really interesting. I had a lot of fun with this book. Yeah, so I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. My main critique is I don't get how this is fantasy, because there was no magic. The only thing that was magical was the hypnosis, and you don't need magic for that. So yeah, that's the only thing. So the next prompt that came up was the Twitter prompt, which was Speak to Myrtle. Tweet and share a little funny story about one time that you had to really laugh at yourself with hashtag making Myrtle laugh. And I couldn't think of a story. I could think about a lot of stories where others laughed about me, which is kind of sad, but I couldn't think about one that I found really funny, so I did not do that again. The next reading prompt was to read the first book you think about. And that was easy because I was waiting for a chance to fit this book into my reading before the end of the year, because I wanted to end the year with this specific book. So the first book on my mind was Dash and Lily's Book of Theirs by Rachel Cohn and David Levithan. I read this book for the first time 2 years ago. It was the first book I read in 2018, and I wanted it to be the last book I read in 2019 because I wanted to reread it at the beginning of the year already, but for some reason I didn't. So it's about a girl named Lily and a boy named Dash. And Lily has a notebook that she left at the Strand, and Dash finds it, and they gave each other clues and dares, and so move through the city and get to know each other, and it's a really cute love story. I really love the premise of this book, of only knowing the other person through this book, and sometimes making them a bit miserable, but mostly it's really fun. Yeah, they're just really cute together. So I gave this one 4 out of 5 stars. And the last prompt was to read a book that starts with an R for rooster because we are fighting the basilisk and the rooster is really helpful with that. And for that I picked Reverie by Ryan Lasala. And I had the best time with this book. It was the first book I read this year and I couldn't have gotten a better start. So it's about a boy named Kane Montgomery and he lost his memory. And there are 3 people in his school who say they're his friends, but he isn't sure if he can believe them. There's also a person who calls themselves Dr. Posey, but they aren't really a doctor. That is cleared really quickly. And then there's this mysterious stranger that his friends tell him not to trust. And for some reason, reality seems to change. So he's at a place at a time where I didn't want him and walks right into this different reality, this reverie, which is basically a dream a person has that becomes reality. It was really great. It has so many complicated relationships between the friends because the friends already know him but he doesn't know them, so the friends are frustrated because he isn't the person they knew and he's frustrated because they want him to be someone he isn't. Then there's the antagonist who's just so... The antagonist is a drag queen and done so amazingly, so funny. So I really enjoyed her. And yeah, then there's this stranger that he doesn't know if he can trust. I mean, he doesn't know if he can trust anyone at all. But there's this person that he can't really place because his friends don't trust him. And he has this feeling like maybe he knows him. And yeah, it's just really fun. It's a fun concept also to get to see this world, to learn this world with a character who already was in this world but doesn't remember. That's a really fascinating concept, and the idea of the reveries, of them coming to life, is just so amazing. This book is done really great. I love the writing, I love the characters, love the dynamics and the relationships, also between Kane and his little sister. It's done so amazing. So this book, 5 out of 5 stars. Amazing. So yeah, that were the books I read for the Winter Magical Readathon 2019, a little bit into 2020, but yeah. There were so many great books in there and I had so much fun doing this. I kind of want to redo it and pick the total opposite of what I picked the first time and see what I get then. Maybe I will do this at one point this year because it could be fun, but this was one of the most interactive and fun readathons I ever participated in, even though I did not participate in the actual social media part, so I wasn't really much talking with other people. But the fact alone about this story that loosely follows the second Harry Potter book, but not quite, since you could pick your own path and choose what to do, it was just really fun. Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. I love G's magical readathons. They're so amazing. I always participate in them. So yeah, I can't wait for April and hopefully another round of owls. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Bye!